that Trey uses during Bathtub Gin, and specifically the Sphere 1924. I think it was just a long time ago. It was a whopping 3 days ago, but we're gonna get right into it. And at the end, we're gonna look at the one thing that for Bathtub Gin ties it all together. You need to know this more than anything else. But first, let's listen to the first section and I'll show you what's going on afterwards. So this jam is all about C Mixolydian, and that's just like the C major scale, but with a flat 7, and it can go different places like any Phish jam. But in this one, they stick mostly right to this. As much as they just keep climbing up and peaking it, it's still revolving around that sound. And this one right here is just doing kind of a bluesy thing. It's just using the blues scale more than anything than the actual Mixolydian. So that's something that Trey would do a lot of. Like, it's in Mixolydian, it's this more happy sound. It's got this major note, but he's using that minor third instead. Or in this case, this is a good example, this tune, of mixing the two together. But right here, this is kind of, I guess you could call it a little lick. He's just kind of dancing around it. Is going like this. Right, so he's just playing around with that theme, and then he does this little, that's just classic Trey. It's just bending, pre-bending a half step right up to the blue note, and then just pulling it down, and releasing it, pulling it down real fast, right? This classic little thing he does, and then bending up a whole step, and then doing the same thing. So he's doing it from the 6th scale degree to the flat 7. So that's another classic thing you do. Not only that specifically, but the idea of taking one little thing and then moving it to another place. And that's it. I don't want to show you note for note from the show, but this is kind of the main idea. He's playing around with that theme and kind of just improvising around with it. And that's just at large, the thing. It's not with Trey. It's not about like learning licks note for note. And this is one of the really transcribed, pre-written, composed, sections of a tune. But this one's pretty free, so let's listen to the second part, and I'll show you what's going on with that. Now, this stuff is great now, but if you want to know more of jam tactics that go beyond just simply note-oriented stuff, check out my jam survival guide right here. If you are on your computer, you can use your phone to just use the camera to scan it. If you're on your computer, if you're on your phone already, then you can't do that. So I'll put a link in the description down below. It's just a free jam guide to get the most out of playing with other musicians. So with that in mind, though, we've got this lick right up here, right? And this is now taking this area over here and moving it up here. A lot of people call this the House of Blues little area, right? So he's going like this. So he's hammering on to that C, right? That's a little anchor point, and then bending that minor third up to the major third. Then going up to the 4th right here. Doing that same thing of pre-bending to the flat 5, the blue note, and then just kind of playing around with this little spot right here. So these are the 5 notes, that little House of Blues. And the idea is just kind of playing around with that. Again, it's not about little note for note thing. He just kind of plays around with that area and that kind of general theme and just kind of keeps building it from there till he moves on to the next thing, which, keep with that in mind, let's just listen to the next one. So now we're getting towards the end. He's really ripping it up here, but he's got this great clear theme of playing up here and playing this note here, bending this, same thing, that minor third, bending it up, half step, and this time going down to the 2nd, so down to the D, and then going like this. Right, and that, I think of that as he's playing around this C major shape, this little triad right here, and going, but playing the 4th first, And playing, you know, it's kind of overall, I guess you could say, from the C Mixolydian scale, or think about the C major pentatonic, right? So it's kind of a mix of these things. You get overall the Mixolydian scale, specifically, you could be playing the C major or C dominant 7 notes. You could be playing the pentatonic, playing the minor pentatonic, the blues notes, all these different things, these different, just kind of like, you know, different colors and sounds, you know? But you're playing around with this. And that's the theme. At that point, really peaking it, playing around with that. And the main thing, though, we got to get more than anything is this one right here. So that one's just bringing it back to the beginning, the main theme. And so much of this revolves all around that. And that is just playing right here. So it starts in a C and makes its way all the way down to a flat 7. Gives it that really quirky sound, right? And it's just playing around with like a Mixolydian sound, like I'm talking about a lot here. But then it's playing this major third, and then playing the minor third, and then, so just kind of notes right in a row. And that's it. That is the key to jamming on this tune. So many people skip over things like that, but if you listen to the beginning of this jam on so many versions, but especially this Sphere version, he's playing around with that for a long time. All these variations, he's leaving a lot of space, like kind of just like whatever, you know, just leaving a lot of space, but that melody is underneath it all. And if you can learn this, get it under your fingers and try to learn some techniques, some bending, some different ways of playing it, and then play it in different, you know, spots on the guitar, different octaves, learn it way up high. If you did nothing but that, forget all the stuff that I showed you before, you'd be cruising. That is the most important thing with jamming through this. And I think in jamming in general, it's having a clear melody and themes and not just grabbing a scale and going, despite me talking a lot about scales here. So again, if you want to learn more about some jamming survival tactics, click on the link in the description down below. And if you want to check out some more stuff about Trey, click on this video here, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.